The committee meeting agenda for Monday, August 18th, 5:30 PM. Look for approval of the minutes from July 21st, 2025.
Move to approve.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next portion of the meeting is open to the public. This portion of the meeting specifically set aside for comments from the public who are asked to limit their conversation to 2 minutes. Any person interested in providing public comment via email should email publicmeetings@rockyhillct.gov prior to 4 PM on the day of the meeting. I don't see anybody in the audience. Anybody online? Okay. We'll move to department updates. Fire.
Thank you, sir. You have our executive summary, so just a few other items worth mentioning. As part of Task Force 51, we provided support to the town of Plainville during the services for firefighter Ray Moreau, who died from injuries sustained at a house fire, died in the line of duty. We covered the town during his wake. Our call volume has stabilized, and as of today, we are exactly where we were this date last year. Well, we had a great time supporting the police department at National Night Out. We love doing the foam pit. And let's see, lastly, for fire, we had a large structure fire over the weekend. The call came in at 1:48 hours on Saturday morning. Before our first chief arrived, we received word from the PD that there was a large volume of fire and smoke showing and that everybody was out of the structure, which is very helpful information to know as you're responding. Due to the advanced stage of the fire and the fact that everybody had self-evacuated, we conducted an exterior attack with both hand lines and ladder pipes. We called for extra help for both town coverage and scene support. We called in Task Force 51, which brought Berlin, Cromwell, Newington, and Wethersfield fire departments into town. We then brought Cromwell, Berlin, and Newington to the scene, and to support Wethersfield and support the town. A special call was placed to Glastonbury Fire Department for an additional engine. And, well, as they were exiting the highway at exit 23 to respond up to New Britain Avenue, when you know it, they came across an unoccupied car which had hit the guardrail on exit 23. So they ended up staying with that incident until Connecticut State Police arrived. We cleared the scene at about 6:40 in the morning, and I believe the cause is still under investigation. And with that, I do have one other thing. I wrote myself a note after our last meeting, and it said to put the 9-category NFIRS sheet with the next report. So you should have this in your report. There were questions about how we classify false alarms, et cetera, the last couple of meetings. Mm-hmm. So this should be, I believe it's in with your packet.
I didn't receive it. Did you receive it, Bill?
Well, then I'll leave.
Yeah.
Okay, I will leave this copy with you for review, and feel free to ask questions whenever.
Sure, probably next meeting. We'll
Okay.
go over it a little bit. Thanks.
Okay, absolutely.
Questions?
No question, just a comment, Chief. I know that was a really long night for you and your colleagues tonight of the House Fire, and it's just a good opportunity to extend our thanks again on behalf of the town to you and your people for all you do. So thanks again.
You're very welcome.
I'd reiterate that. Thank you guys for your professionalism and taking care of that house and contained it to the one house. Could have went to the neighbors very easily, probably, that fire. Nice job. Glad nobody was hurt from the residency or your guys.
Thank you.
I know Mission CIT is starting up, I think, in September. Is that correct?
I think we're going to see a little bit of a delay in that with the fabrication. So I can get you a better idea of when they're starting up, but I wouldn't hold us to September. I think we might be pushed out 3-4 weeks.
Okay.
Fabrication's taking longer than anticipated.
Makes sense. It's a lot of things they're adding, which is great. I would just remind you, I just want to keep an update on how many classroom times they use a month and times they use training grounds. If you could add
That is
that
on,
in the report.
that is on my list to provide to you. I have zeros right now.
Correct,
I
yeah.
can report if you want there, and
Till
no
it starts.
classroom time this week, or
Thanks.
this month.
Yeah, no problem. When they
Okay.
start up, I thought it was in September, they said.
Oh,
Good.
absolutely. I will make sure that information's provided.
Thanks. There's a couple of grant opportunities. I'm just wondering if the Saver Grant, have you looked into that? There's Connecticut and one other town, Connecticut and one other state are options to get involved with that. Have you reviewed that?
The
or-
SAFER grant,
Right.
SAFER?
Correct.
Yeah, that is a staffing grant. And that's normally used to supplement career staff. So we haven't
There's
looked
one
into
for
it.
volunteers, though, volunteer departments.
Right, and that is being applied through the Connecticut Fire Chiefs, and we're part of that. That is more of a regional volunteer recruitment retention angle on that one.
Okay.
That, about 8 or 10 years ago, just a couple of years before COVID, the Connecticut Fire Chiefs Association was able to secure that grant, and we were part of that. They're applying for that again, and we are part of that,
Great,
operation.
great,
So it's done on a regional level.
nice. And did you happen to see that Old Lime's going to host a one-day grant writing seminar for fire departments?
I did not see that.
I'll get you the information. It's October 18th, Old Lyme Fire Department. They're doing a one-day crash course on grant writing. They're having somebody come in and do it, but
Okay,
maybe something worthwhile
that's
we
far
could take
enough
a
out.
look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll get the town manager the info or
I
forward you
appreciate
to-
that.
Just on a personal thing with your department, is everything okay with Deputy Chief Gentili? Are we okay with him, or is he still active with your department?
Yes, he's still active with the department, yes.
Okay. I hope so. He's a great person. He's done a lot for our town and your agency, so I hope that he'll still stay on. Okay, that's all I have. We'll go to your next, emergency management.
Okay. From the emergency management standpoint, we continue to work with the city of Middletown to streamline local communications, especially as it pertains to emergencies on the river responses. The town's fireboat is starting to feel its age, so we are notifying and spending a lot of time notifying our mutual aid partners. So in case we do have issues with the boat, we will bring them in to help us out with the calls. Well, with the recent heat waves, we've opened the town cooling centers during normal hours. I believe we've had 2 since our last meeting. As reported last month, on August 2nd, we conducted a mass casualty drill at the high school in cooperation with EMS, PD, the Hartford Hospital EMT program, as well as DPH. That drill went very well. And lastly, we are planning on participating with the state DEMIS, which is Connecticut Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, EPI drill on 9/9/2025. More to follow on that. And the EPI drill is, I don't have the wording in front of me, but it's required participation to be considered eligible for state emergency management grants in the future. We do know that the range of scenarios this year will include drought, wildfires, some public health challenges, and emergency response coordination, public information, et cetera. So we are planning on participating on that a lot more to follow on that. We just received the extent of play earlier today.
Question?
None here.
You mentioned the fireboat. What's the problem with the fireboat?
The problem is, Fran, a 24, 25-year-old two-stroke engine that's really starting to feel its age. So we're keeping it together. It doesn't have optimal performance anymore. We're looking at different ways to fund another boat. One of the ways we're looking at is the Riverport grant. So that's what's happening. We got a 25-year-old two-stroke motor that's really starting to feel its age. The top end, we don't have that performance anymore. Starting to run into cooling issues, but it is still on the line as of now.
Does the police department have two boats? Or are boats separate from yours? Do you guys have one in the water? Police
We do
boat?
have
Yes.
one, correct.
We don't use them compatible or same,
The
or can use
plan,
them?
the plan down, the two are set up differently now. Ours
Okay.
is set up with fire pumps, et cetera.
Right.
Theirs
right.
is, which adds considerable weight to the boat. Theirs is set up more as a patrol craft, an enforcement craft.
Okay.
And we've had several discussions in the past on this. Honestly, we feel that a single boat for multiple services is the way to go down the road. So honestly, that's what we're looking into at this point.
You consider another motor to operate your
We were
boat or
looking
no?
at a compatible motor, four-stroke, priced out, I believe, last week, was anywhere between 43 and 53,000, and that's before the controls and the power steering, the Silstar power steering. We're looking. We also looked at a used motor, which would probably be about half that, about 20,000, provided that it would be compatible with the controls that are on it.
What's a new boat go for with a motor? Have you priced that?
We just looked at a couple of them, online looking. A new boat is about 79,000 with a trailer.
Without the motor?
Well, with the motor was on that one.
That's good.
So that was a leftover from a trade show, but it was it would have been rigid hull inflatable. It would have been good for both services. We're trying to find. We've tried to get the equity in the boat, see what's there, see what's available to us. So we're still honestly juggling the numbers. We would like to explore the grant option. I don't know what I don't know if you call it a copay or whatever, is on this. So we're still in the initial looking phases.
Good. Excellent. Thanks for the updates.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go to ambulance. Start with the volunteers.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry. July, we had a total number of 725 responses. 370 responded total for the year, 677. For the year, 371 is 38, and me, EMS 1, is 10 in the fly car. For the month of July, we did 119 calls in 370. 371 did not do any calls, and I did too. Operationally, we got 372 online. It is absolutely online. It did pass the first and second leg, and now it is absolutely out of the gate and on the road. We participated also in first night. We also did, while they were doing the hazmat mutual, what was that, the hazmat mass casualty situation scene down at the high school, I was over at the Dinosaur State Park with my granddaughter's dog. We were doing some stuff for Dinosaur Day. And we also participated in National Night Out with everybody else. The other thing that I just found, I literally just flew over here from my office and just found this out, that we had our EMT classes just finished up, and 7 of the students that took the practical exam over the weekend, all 7 of them passed the first half of the hands-on exam. So I just found that. They don't even know that yet, so haha.
Nice.
So nice to be able to announce to everyone, except for them, that they passed their first leg. Now they just have to take the written. So we're making some strides. We're getting somewhere. So,
Great.
and on to you guys.
Here for Aetna.
Good afternoon. My name is Matt Campbell from Aetna Ambulance. For Aetna, we've responded to year-to-date 2,053 emergency responses with 101,460 transports in town. With July, we had 280 responses with 190 transports. Our on-time performance is at 95%. Our average response time has been 6 minutes and 39 seconds, and our cold responses have been 8 minutes and 52 seconds. We've had our cardiac arrests are down from last month. We're at 3 cardiac arrests with 0 transports, 3 presumptions for the month. Opiate-related encounters is down from 4 in June to 0 in July, which is great. We have 7 new EMTs that just begun their field training for us, so they'll be cleared in the next couple of weeks. And we also have 4 paramedics preparing their journey to become paramedics through Hartford Hospital. So they'll be on the road probably in the next 4 or 5 months. Oh, the paramedics.
All the paramedics.
Yeah. In about 4 or 5 months, they'll be on the road. Other than that, that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Any questions?
Just a question about the data. So when I look at the 4th page of our packet, we have a combined chart for responses. It says Town of Rocky Hill dash RHVAA unit responses, July 24th through July 25. And that chart says that the number of responses last July, 119 for the volunteers and 229 for Aetna. Then the next page, the Aetna executive summary says that Aetna had 280 responses. So we've got 2 very different data points. Seems to be about the same piece of information. Can you clarify that for me?
So we are looking, can you just repeat that one more? I'm sorry.
So I don't know if you have the full packet that we do. So there's a page that says Town of Rocky Hill dash RHVAA unit responses.
We're looking at this packet, maybe?
No, it's not in this one.
No.
When are you
Yeah.
talking about, Bill?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's-
Yep.
You're on the right one.
So you see at the bottom line there, it says 229 responses by Aetna.
Yep.
But then when I look at the Aetna only report, it says last month, 280 responses.
Right there.
And so I don't know if that's a one-time thing or if I'm just or it's been a
I think
repeated
that-
thing I'm just picking up on.
I
but-
can just maybe what I think is going on is that there's 280 responses, but then there's transports are a different number. So the 229 would be in line with your transports, maybe?
No, it says transports was 190.
Yeah, our transports are 190.
Okay. I didn't put this data together. This is Dave's.
Dave,
Dave usually does all this charting with, he compiles all of the data together for both agencies and does he puts this all together on this formulary and gathers it from the CAD system from the police department.
I'll have to bring it back to Dave.
And I can get it back, I can bring it back to his attention and I can see what's up.
Okay,
I
thank
can
you.
also
How we
probably
put
pull it back.
together, we'll ask.
We can pull it backwards and see what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
The only thing I'd like to add to the information that Matt gave is that we're getting near daily updates and alerts about heroin overdoses in the region.
Okay.
And these overdoses many times are mixed with fentanyl, of course, we know that, but they're also now mixed with xylazine, which is a sedative, and it's not an opiate. So for your first responders, fire, police, it's definitely important to keep up the bag valve mask and the ventilations, because Narcan might not be as effective as you think it might be. So, we'll be monitoring the information as it comes in. We don't have August numbers just yet, but I'm definitely getting emails every day in the region. So typically, it doesn't come down as far down to Rocky Hill, but we see on our heat map that we look at, we see any point down along 91, we can see little hot spots come up. So we'll, if something comes up, we'll let you know.
Thank you.
So is Narcan, we usually think of it in terms of fentanyl, but is also effective against heroin overdoses?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Any
Anything
opiate
any
is-
opioid.
Is, it's most effective against heroin, but fentanyl's another animal.
Yep.
And then when they start mixing things that are cheaper and longer lasting, but maybe not necessarily opiates, they don't work. So our first responders might be just used to giving Narcan, and then nothing happens.
But with this new additive that you just talked about, that can dilute the effectiveness of the Narcan?
Yeah, it negates the Narcan. So the backup always is make sure we have our bag valve mask. We breathe for the patient.
It removes the opiate, but won't remove the xylazine, so we have to work over the xylazine. Xylazine's a horse tranquilizer, so it makes it a little tough.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just asked volunteers, the EMTs you got in class, are they off for the town of Rocky Hill? They'll be deployed with, or,
Plan.
okay, good. Excellent.
So I always have a plan, Fran.
Great. Good thinking.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go with the police now, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Pretty standard, straightforward report of note, other than the executive page. Just to make the announcement there, you see on the bottom regarding a closed case from 2021, was an armed carjacking. It was some time ago, but ultimately was closed out as a result of a CODIS hit. The suspect, who was a juvenile at the time, ended up being incarcerated as an adult, and that DNA profile then hit on our case, which led to the closure of that incident. Our detective, who was in charge of the case, actually spoke with the victim, who was so relieved that there was some closure. Really, it affected her for some time, and to get that kind of closure a couple years later, it was really important and valuable for her. So a very nice case there. On the trends and patterns, we're this month seeing a reduction in both accidents, larcenies, accidents with injuries. So the trend there is really good. Kudos to the patrol effort, as well as that increased traffic stops you see on the case this month. One more note before we move on to the thing with the share. We met with the Hartford Task Force, where the auto theft task force is based out of, actually looking to see if we could bring online some officers, patrol officers, to join the team, and they are open to the idea, so we're going to be exploring that internally, which would mean some higher participation in that team. But the feedback I've seen from the leads and this collaboration from that team to help close cases has been very instrumental for us internally here as a town, closing some of these larcenies and cases we're familiar with in the past. Haven't seen that uptick. It's been really down with the motor vehicle break-ins and car thefts, and got to tell you, it's a huge tribute to the team in Hartford and our participation in that. That's really helped our community, and so we'd like to try to dive in. So they were open to that, to bringing on a patrol officer who process. We're going to work that out, but I think, like I was trying to say, is if we can get some more participation on that, it's going to help our officers grow and develop as well. Not just being housed in the detective division. And lastly, on the third or fourth page, what page do you have? Where you notice the spreadsheet, the Excel spreadsheet. On the very bottom, I've added in there some new metrics for this fiscal year, and they line up every metric that we track for goals and objectives in our budget on page 1 through 4 is now reflected in this report. And what you see down there now lines up with, the page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. So ultimately, while they're not all lined up exactly, If you were to ask us at any time where we stand with our metrics on performance measures and goals that we put into our budget, it is in this report for you going forward. And with that, we had a very successful National Night Out. You know, the team did a great job there, and that stands my report for any questions.
So Chief, so one question, and congratulations on that sort of cold case from 21, cool case maybe.
Sure.
A question, so when you grab someone who by now is aged out of the juvenile system for an offense they committed as a juvenile, what consequences are there for that person now? You're not going to put him into juvenile court, I don't think. You don't put him in front of a juvenile court now when he's already an adult. So how does a case like that get handled?
So within the court system, they can decide to raise that charge up to an adult charge based on the person's background, the recidivism. In this case, I think that's currently being discussed actually to bring this individual in as an adult, although they were a juvenile at the time. But if it was their first time committing an armed carjacking at 17 years old and their next case was 3 years later, the court may decide to adjudicate that as a juvenile. But it's really in the court's hands, so we will charge it as we're directed.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
That was a great follow-up and great arrest for sure. Was that the business on Route 3? Do you know?
Correct, right on New Britain Ave. I'm sorry, it was on New Britain Avenue.
On Bird Out. Nice. That was awesome. I'm sure that victim was so pleased to hear that. Great job. Just in-house, have you guys gone to the 5-3 schedule?
The sergeant's office has. Patrol will begin in September.
Good. Is it working with the sergeant so far? Does it
So
seem
far,
to
so
be
good.
working?
Yeah, they're working with each other. It's been, there's many benefits to it for them, certainly, with, I think, a little more free time off, and to give them that breath, that space they need to decompress. And I have not seen any major issues with the sergeant's office. It's been a good test for us, too, a smaller
Sure.
group, in preparation for what we got coming in September.
Good. Excellent. I don't have anything to follow up. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Health Department, do we have Charlie Brown?
Charlie's unable to attend tonight.
Okay. Very good. Any old business? Any new business? Any other business? Okay, I think we're wrapping up. Look for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
We're at-